Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my ongoing series where I am ranking my 100 favorite albums. Today's video is number 80 through 71. And I don't say this a lot in my videos, but if you would, please subscribe. It really helps a lot. I'm really kind of stuck on subscribers right now. I've kind of plateaued, and I kind of like to inch closer to, 550 subscribers. That would be fantastic. It's a cool number. So, if you watch my videos and you haven't subscribed, just please subscribe. That way you'll know whenever I have a new video up or if I'm going to go live playing music. So anyway, without further ado, let me just go ahead and jump into this. Now, I will say, as the list gets narrower and narrower, you might see your favorite album make an appearance. Again, this is just my opinion. This is not, necessarily the greatest albums of all time. It's my 100 favorite albums of all time. So, without further ado, number 80, another Christmas album. This is A Christmas Gift for You by Phil Spector and all of his musicians under the Phillies label. This is voted by many to be the greatest rock era Christmas album. You have Bobby Sox and the Blue Jeans, the Crystals, the Ronettes, Darlene Love. So, and of course, you got the Wrecking Crew playing the instrumentation, and then the Phil Spector production as part of it. Almost half of this album is already all over the radio for Christmas time. I mean, you have, Frosty the Snowman by the Ronettes, White Christmas, Darlene Love, The Bells of St. Mary by Bobby Sox, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is the version that Bruce Springsteen later made a moderate hit. Christmas Baby Please Come Home is probably the most famous song of this album. It's the lone original, co-written by Phil Spector. Just a fantastic 60s Christmas album, and it was the inspiration for Brian Wilson's Beach Boys Christmas album, if I'm not mistaken. So, A Christmas Gift for You, Phil Spector. 79, Headquarters by the Monkees. This is the Monkees album. It was their third album. It was the album where the Monkees decided they wanted to take control in the studio, so they play most of the instruments on this album and have a lot more leeway on it. Again, the Monkees were going at a non-stop rate at this point, so they were doing the show, they were touring. They were about to tour, I believe, and then they were recording non-stop. So it goes to show that the Monkees could play enough of their instruments to get by. Is it the Monkees' masterpiece? No. But it's got some great songs on here, like You Told Me, the Mike Nesmith tune. You Just May Be the One, Shades of Grey, one of my favorites, with Davy Jones and Peter Tork. For Pete's Sake, which was the end credits after the first season. Sunny Girlfriend, Mr. Webster, Randy Scouse Get, which was a big hit off of the album. So Headquarters is number 79. Number 78, Oh Mercy by Bob Dylan. This is Bob Dylan's end of the 80s album. This was the last album he released in the 80s, 1989, produced by Daniel Lanois, who would later go on to produce Time Out of Mind. He also produced U2. Great songs on here: Political World, Everything's Broken, Man in the Long Black Coat, Ring Them Bells, What Good Am I, Shooting Star, Disease of Conceit. It's just a fantastic album. Dylan was struggled a lot during the 80s, and this was kind of his way of saying, I haven't gone anywhere. The genius is still there. So, Oh Mercy, number 78. All right, here we go. I'm breaking into some Beatles here. My first Beatles album making an appearance. Number 77. It's the debut by the Beatles, Please Please Me. What a fantastic debut. It's the Beatles, very raw. They recorded this album just in a day's worth of sessions. It was essentially, for the most part, it was their set list that they had played several times in the Cavern Club. Just one of many set lists. I mean, you have originals on here, like I Saw Her Standing There, Misery, Ask Me Why, Please Please Me, Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You, Do You Want to Know a Secret, There's a Place. But then you've also got some great covers on here. Anna, Chains, Boys, the Ringo song, Baby It's You, Taste of Honey, and then probably their greatest cover in terms of just, how they made it their own, Twist and Shout to close it. And what can you say? Just a great intro. You can see how young they are. 1963. So Please Please Me, UK, Beatles. Number 76, I'm going to jump into some bossa nova with the album Getz and Gilberto. This is just a fantastic jazz album. I have the acoustic sounds version as well, which sounds great. Of course, this spawned a big hit, Girl from Ipanema, but you also have, O Grande Amor, Vivo Sonando, excuse me. Quiet Nights of Quiet Stars is on there, which is also a moderate hit. Just a fantastic, excuse me, just a fantastic bossa nova jazz album, smooth, and you have the great vocals by Astrud Gilberto. So check it out. Getz Gilberto, cracking the top 100. So that was, this is number 75. This is the 2011 album, So Beautiful or So What by Paul Simon. This is an absolutely fantastic album. Definitely his best album since Graceland, I would say. Rhythm of the Saints is good. Surprise wasn't a great album. It had some good stuff on there, but it wasn't, one of his best. And So Beautiful or So What, it was like Paul Simon. It had some religious elements into it, a lot of spirituality. The opening song is actually a Christmas song, but not really. It samples some Christmas sermons called Getting Ready for Christmas Day. You have the song called The Afterlife, Dazzling Blue, which is just an absolutely beautiful tune. Rewrite, which is about, like rewriting your life from an older man's perspective. Amulet, which just shows how well Paul Simon can play the guitar. Love and Blessings is beautiful. Questions for the Angels, produced by Phil Ramone. Just a masterpiece of a later day Paul Simon album. So that's number 75. Number 74, this is a debut album by a group called Good Old War. I've talked about them before. It's called Only Way to Be Alone. I've talked about this group, and again, they're not necessarily videos that I get a lot of response on. But you have Keith Goodwin, Ken Schwartz, and Timothy Arnold that make up this trio. They're a great harmony trio, very acoustic based. The guitar playing by Dan Schwartz is just unbelievable. That guy can move his fingers like I've never seen. If you don't believe me, just watch the live video of them singing Better Weather. Just absolutely phenomenal acoustic guitar player. And they can sing, just one guitar and all three voices, because all three guys can sing. And you have good songs on here like Coney Island, A Weak Man, which is one of my favorites on there, Looking for Shelter. Tell Me that's the first song I ever learned from Good Old War. So that cracks in there as well at 74. Number 73 is going to be Traveling Wilburys Volume 3. Not Volume 1, Volume 3. Volume 1 may make an appearance later. Spoiler. This is the Wilburys after the death of Roy Orbison. You have, the songs on here, She's My Baby, Inside Out, and Wilbury Twist, which are all kind of, the semi-hits off of the album. They all three had music videos that went with them. So at this point, it was just a quartet of George Harrison, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and Bob Dylan. But still some great songwriting on here. If You Belong to Me has a really good kind of country sound. Bob Dylan on the lead vocals. Devil's Been Busy is another good one. Seven Deadly Sins is kind of a doo-wop tune. Really great. Poor House is a country duet with Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne. Where Were You Last Night? Another Bob Dylan kind of vocal. Cool Dry Place is a funny Tom Petty song where he sings about keeping your instruments clean, essentially, and safe. New Blue Moon, beautiful vocal by Jeff Lynne. Just fantastic, tight harmony. You Took My Breath Away, another great Jeff Lynne tune. And then Wilbury Twist, just to close it out. Fantastic. Both of the Wilbury albums are just stunning. So that is number 73. Number 72, Something in the Water by Pokey LaFarge. Pokey LaFarge is out of St. Louis, Missouri. He draws a lot from ragtime and old kind of vaudeville style singing, if you will. But he's really become his own guy now. I mean, he's got this like funny like warble in his voice. I mean, you can see there how he kind of dresses, kind of looks like a Jimmy Rogers, Hank Williams kind of vibe to him. And just an all-around great musician. Some highlights on this album are the title track, Something in the Water. When Did You Leave Heaven is beautiful. Cairo, Illinois. Goodbye Barcelona and Far Away are all beautiful. And then the last song was really fun, called Knocking the Dust Off the Rust Belt Tonight. And produced by Jimmy Sutton, who is he plays with J.D. McPherson. And number 71 to close out this video is the debut by Nick Drake, Five Leaves Left. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album. I like it a little bit better than Pink Moon, obviously. The song The Riverman in and of itself makes it a great, album. So Riverman is great. 3 Hours is beautiful. Time Has Told Me is an awesome opener. Cello Song is beautiful. Saturday Sun is probably the most optimistic song that Nick Drake has. And just a great introduction to this great acoustic singer-songwriter. Please, please, please check out Nick Drake. There you go. 10 more under the belt. Let me know what you think. Again, comment, like, all that good stuff. Subscribe. And yeah, in the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. Talk to y'all real soon. Bye now.